Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie z tej strony Kalwie,
My
a to jest...
mother would like to speak with me. I believe she has learned about some of what we've been up to. I'm hoping she may be easier on me if you are there.
A to jest kolejny odcinek serii Hogwarts Legacy. Jak przerwali nam początek, wcięli nam się słowom. Mieliśmy tu inną misję wybraną na samym początku. Ale mamy tutaj porozmawiać z Nati. Myślę, że do tej misji sobie możemy jako pierwszej skoczyć. I też tak warto powiedzieć... Nie wiem, czy to nie będzie czasami ostatni odcinek z tej serii. Z tego względu, że nie będziemy też na siłę wbijać tego 34 levela, zwłaszcza, że trzeba byłoby porobić wszelkie aktywności w całej tutaj grze. Mija się to trochę z celem, to byśmy zrobili tutaj naprawdę 50 odcinków i pewnie zobaczymy tylko takie parę pogadanek i to wszystko. Więc myślę, że po prostu będzie to ostatni odcinek, a jutro już w piątek startuje nowa seria.
So frustrating. You wanted to speak with me, Mother?
I had hoped to speak with you alone, Natsai.
Your message mentioned your concern about an unusual creature that was spotted in the woods near Hogsmeade. That could have been anything.
You know what it was, Natsai.
I am allowed to leave the castle. I am always careful, Mother.
Careful. Officer Singer disagrees. She sent me an owl telling me that you have been trying to collect evidence of some kind against dark wizards. She berated me for not keeping a closer eye on you, and she is right. I do not want you visiting Hogsmeade for the near future.
But Mother!
My little gazelle, you are well-intentioned, but you must not meddle in the affairs of dangerous people.
If someone had meddled in Matabeleland, Father would still be with us.
I must get to class. Perhaps your friend can get you to listen to reason.
So frustrating. She never listens to me.
She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from?
It is specific to me. I am the unusual creature in Hogsmeade she mentioned. Self-transfiguration is not taught at Hogwarts, so I am gently discouraged from practicing it. However, I am an animagus, and it is in my gazelle form that I have been able to wander the highlands rather freely until now, much to my mother's chagrin. That is how I managed to spy on Rookwood and Harlow.
Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one?
Animagi are not born. The process is quite elaborate. It involves holding a mandrake leaf in one's mouth for an entire month, then placing the leaf in a crystal phial so that it is imbued with moonlight, then adding one of your own hairs. And that is just the beginning. Self-transfiguration is common among students at Wagadu, but Professor Weasley considers it much too dangerous to teach at Hogwarts.
Can you choose what form your animagus will take?
Oh no, a person's animagus form is determined by their personality. My mother is convinced that my form is a gazelle because I adapt well to any situation. I believe it is because I can sense danger and keep my wits about me.
How does it feel to transform into an animal?
Well, the first time it can be a bit unnerving. I felt a kind of searing pain and a strong double heartbeat. But it gets easier the more you do it. I no longer feel any pain, and I must say, I find a sense of comfort in the double heartbeat. And I love being able to view the world from a different perspective.
Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have.
It is. I love transforming, but Mother is less enthusiastic about it. She says that no creature, especially one as rare as a gazelle, should be bounding about where poaching has become so prevalent. She claims that she has foreseen tragedy befall me in my gazelle form. But she has used her sight to control me too many times. I no longer believe it.
We're making good progress. We can't quit now.
I agree. I have never considered quitting, even for a moment. You could have fled the moment you discovered that Rookwood, Harlow, and Randrock were after you, but you did not. I choose to act as you have. I must deal with Harlow, not hide from him. My mother cannot know where I am all the time. Thank you for being here during that rather awkward conversation.
I rozumiem, że była to tylko po prostu rozmowa, a nie taka specjalna misja. Też i tak o tym mówię, że nie będziemy tutaj robić nie wiadomo i na siłę ciągnąć tych odcinków właśnie tylko po to, żeby te rozmowy wszystkie odczytać. Bo to nie o to w tym chodzi, bo naprawdę tych rozmów tutaj z tego co widać jest dość sporo. Więc tak jak mówię, tutaj mamy porozmawiać z kimś, tam te pójść i te odcinki po prostu nie będą takie zbyt ciekawe. Myślę, że osobiście może i bym wrócę do Hogwartu, ale już na Steam Decku, czy tam na ROG Ally. A tak jak mówię, jutro zaczniemy sobie po prostu nową serię. Myślę, że z dość ciekawej gry, która już też jakiś czas jest na rynku, już długi czas i między innymi jest to polska gra polskiego studia. Pewnie już część z was się będzie domyślać, no ale myślę, że
Don't you fret, Biscuit.
poczekacie do jutra.
I shall sort something out.
Hello? Is something the matter?
Most decidedly, yes. My precious moon calf, Biscuit, was abducted by poachers up north. Oh, the vicious brutes. I tried to fight back, but I was no match for them.
I'm sorry about your moon calf, Mr.
Garnuff. Just Garnuff. I'm only one goblin. Not a particularly brave one at that. I have no chance against a pack of bloodthirsty poachers. Oh, my poor Biscuit. I can only hope she's able to escape.
Why do you suppose the poachers took Biscuit?
I have no idea. Mooncalf dung's highly valuable for fertilizing magical plants. But I cannot imagine poachers care much about gardening. Who knows what they'll do to her? She could be flogged, skinned, gutted and stuffed. I assume. Oh, Biscuit.
A moon calf is an unusual pet. Why did you choose Biscuit?
She followed me one evening, wouldn't leave my side. Never thought I was one for a pet of any kind. But now I can't imagine life without her. Mooncalves are often thought of as silly, simple-minded creatures. But I've seen great depth of character in Biscuit. I wouldn't trade her for a hippogriff or a hippopotamus, or even a goose that lays golden eggs.
I'll keep an eye out for your moon calf, Garniff.
How kind. If only all of Wizardkind was as gracious to goblins. If you do see her and can bring her safely home to me, I promise to reward you for your efforts. Do keep an eye out for her, and be careful out there.
If there's any chance that the relic from Slytherin's spellbook can help her, I must find it. I'm requesting your help. Meet me outside of Feldcroft, near the catacomb.
Także odezwał się do nas Sebastian, jak widać. Także pewnie po tej misji pójdziemy do Sebastiana. A tak przy okazji, bo nie możemy tutaj latać, ani jakiegoś stworka wezwać, żeby szybciej się przemieścić, zanim wyjdziemy z Hogsmeade. Tak, korzystając z okazji, zapraszam wszystkich do lajkowania oraz komentowania filmu, jeżeli wam się podoba, ponieważ jest to duże wsparcie dla mnie, oraz zapraszam do odwiedzenia mojego Twitcha, do którego link macie w opisie, TikToka, jak i mojego serwera Discord, gdzie macie po prostu informacje o najnowszych filmach, a także jeżeli szukacie ludzi do pogrania w różne gry, możecie tam też ich poznać czy spotkać. Dobra, myślę, że weźmiemy tutaj naszego gryfa, naszego ptoka i możemy polecieć do kolejnej misji. Co jak co, ale to jakie ta gra widoki nam zapewniła. Nie chciałem... O!
approach the centaurs about protecting the Snidgets. Meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
Tak, co, ale tak jak nam ta gra takie widoki zapewniła, to naprawdę fascynujący widok akurat w tej grze. Także tak jak mówię, ja sobie osobiście jeszcze na pewno wrócę do tej gry w wydaniu konsolowym poprzez
Poachers.
Steam Decka
God, it was right then. I'd better be careful.
albo Rock Ally.
You took
Accio. Bombarda. Confringo.
Protego! Incendio! Levio!
Tutaj widać,
Feel a burning Defendo!
że przeciwnicy się
Incendio.
skalują do naszego
Confringo.
poziomu.
Bombarda. Incendio. Defendo.
So very weak.
Levioso.
Dobrze ich tu trochę, jak powiedział. Weźmy sobie
Confringo.
piątkę.
Defendo.
Let's play Predator and Prey, shall we?
Incendio. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo.
No one takes one of my own and lives to tell of it!
Bombarda. Incendio.
I won't go down
Confringo.
easy!
Tutaj. A, tu już jest powrót.
Protego! Reducto!
Defendo. Bombarda.
Nie lubię tutaj tych zwierząt, co tak kurczę.
Repulsor. Accio. Confringo.
Nice reducto!
Defendo. Incendio.
Czy nie lubię tych magów, co się zamieniają w wilki, bo strasznie irytujące to jest. Ale dobra, tymczasem wypuścimy ciastko. Sobie zaliczymy przy okazji obóz. I tutaj jest Alohomora.
Alohomora.
Jak widać, kilkanaście ich zebrali. O, było chyba? Jest. Mamy otwarty kolejny zamek w naszej karierze.
Now then, which one of you is Biscuit? Revelio.
Które to ciastko? A które to ciastko? Wszystko fajnie, ale...
Lumos.
Chciałem wiedzieć, która to z nich. Luna bala i wszystko fajnie, ale... O, jest, są pijawki. Ja tak mogę wszystko...
Curiosity they teach at Hogwarts will not... You made a mis-
One less poacher in the wizarding world.
Ja tak mogę tutaj wszystkie łapać, ale...
Levioso.
Weźmy sobie tą...
Lumos.
We should speak with Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will devise a plan.
Revelio. Levioso.
Która to będzie ciastko?
Everything's all right now.
Tak możemy wszystkie tutaj machnąć, ale... Kurczę, tak chodzić. Nie pamiętam, czy on dawał jakiś opis tej Luna Bali.
All right, Biscuit.
Dobra,
Let's get you back to Garniff, shall we?
mamy.
Revelio.
Także nie Revelio, tylko to cały czas mi się mylą przyciski. Dobra, myślę, że możemy sobie lecieć.
Faster! Go!
Do Garnufa. Z powrotem. I przy okazji zrobiła nam się noc już. Tak średnio. Już widoczki nie takie ładne, ale zawsze to coś. Także trochę, a w sumie możemy przecież użyć szybkiej podróży. Tego to tu mamy i sobie przejdziemy tutaj. Do tego miejsca może nam pokaże, jak otwierać te skrzynki. To by było też ciekawe, bo odkrywamy to na sam koniec. No ale nic.
Oh, my dear Biscuit.
Garneth, I've rescued Biscuit.
You have? Oh, is she hurt? Was she frightened? Are you all right?
Biscuit is fine, as am I. I was able to rescue her without much incident.
Oh, mercy. Where poachers are concerned, I tend to expect the worst. I cannot wait to get her home. I so miss seeing her dance in the evenings. Such joy.
I'm glad she's safe now. I'm sure she'll be happy to go home.
Oh, that is a great weight off my mind. Oh, my sweet little Biscuit, my wise, noble moon calf. And here is your reward, of course. Well deserved. As I said before, you have restored my faith in wizard kind. You've restored at least a modicum of my faith in wizard kind. Biscuit and I can't thank you enough.
Confringo! Lumos!
Wiecie co? Ja chyba dopiero teraz odkryłem, jak można to otwierać. Nie mam pytań. Nie mam po prostu pytań. Wiecie, skąd się domyśliłem? Jakiś czas temu robiliśmy główny wątek. O, trochę się tam tego zrobiło. I myślę, że możemy się udać do Sebastiana. Jakiś czas temu mieliśmy w głównym wątku właśnie misję, która musieliśmy się właśnie ukryć za pomocą tego czaru kameleona, która właśnie przez takie oko otwierała nam drzwi. I mi się przypomniało, że to jest bardzo podobnie wyglądające oko. No ale nic. Lecimy dalej. Ważne, lepiej szybciej niż później. Także no, lecimy sobie dalej. Mamy chyba naszych goblinów. Teraz lecimy do katakumb. Przy okazji tutaj można blokować sobie teleport, więc też go sobie odblokujemy. O, to jest tu.
Slow down now. There we go.
Tego sobie schowamy i sobie pójdziemy
You're
tutaj.
here. Good.
Sebastian, that relic you mentioned.
I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do. I'll be interested to compare what lies inside to what I've read about this catacomb.
No nic, wchodzimy do katakumb i idziemy zobaczyć, znaczy znaleźć.
I'm sure that foul smell is the scent of success. Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
Idziemy znaleźć ten relikt. Oczywiście pająki. To nie jest tutaj problem dla nas.
Incendio. Confringo. Oh, Bombarda. Defender. At least now we know we're not alone in here. Accio.
That's it. And the rest of the tomb will be insect-free.
Yeah, spiders aren't insects.
Don't start. We're here for a reason. I'd say that
Levioso!
them all is
Incendio!
A przy okazji użyjemy sobie tego.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Idziemy sobie tu.
Bombarda!
Tylko za pomocą
Confringo.
tego. Proszę bardzo.
This room is taller than it looks.
I nie możemy tam wejść. Za wysoko.
Wingardium Leviosa! Lumos! Lumos! Wingardium Leviosa!
Teraz... Obraca o... Dobra. Nie pamiętam, czy był jakiś przycisk do tego, czy nie. Ale tu mamy
Finding a
skrzyneczkę.
chest in an inconspicuous loft. Brilliant.
Wiadomo. Nam się udało. Chyba więcej nie ma
Revelio.
skrzynek. Tak patrzę, chyba nie. Teraz musimy iść dalej. O, tutaj już mamy pajączka.
Bombarda!
Naprawdę.
Incendio! Confringo! Defendo!
To ładnie.
Accio!
Mamy tu jeszcze jakieś tego typu krypty, że tak powiem.
Bombarda!
Kolejną skrzyneczkę. I teraz tak, możemy albo iść tu, to było już otwarte, albo iść tu, co otworzyliśmy to dopiero.
Watch your step. I nearly slipped there.
O. Automatyczne ogień.
Defendo! Confringo! Incendio!
O, jeszcze raz.
Incendio!
This brass. It no longer feels like a tomb. I've read about catacombs that underwent expansion efforts and ran into problems. Often cave-ins.
And then were abandoned.
Exactly. We'll be
Revelio!
fine, though.
Niczego nie ma. Także możemy wracać do głównego przejścia, gdzie tu widać trochę tych rzeczy jest.
Now this is the sort of great room I want to be buried in.
Surrounded by grandeur.
Grandeur and then some. Even an altar with
Accio.
fine bones. Lovely.
Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. Bombarda! Defendo! Confringo! There's something here. Reparo!
O,
Depulso!
What did you find?
Bombarda! Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced a space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. I have the report if you want to have a look. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades, I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperius Curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's
znalazłem.
more to this than even I imagined.
Bombarda!
Look, bones stacked oddly on either side of this archway.
Leave no stone unturned. Or in this case, no bone.
Tutaj niby coś się...
Bombarda!
Bombarda na to nie działa. Tego też nie możemy naprawić. Może skoczmy tu zobaczyć, może coś tu będzie.
Akio! We're in the tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory.
Reparo. Wingardium Leviosa.
O! A?
That's a lot of bone rattle.
Tutaj jeszcze mamy jakieś. Kości i może nam się uda to otworzyć teraz. Proszę bardzo.
You've done it. I knew we'd get through. I felt it in my bones.
Nice.
Before we trudge on further, I've just realized something. The student's diary mentions the Imperious Curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master.
To dla nas. Damy radę.
Here we go. Something troubling ahead. Be on your guard.
Przetestujemy nowe zaklęcie.
Imperio. Confringo.
Tamten jest, rozumiem, że po naszej stronie.
Bombarda. Defender.
Kawa.
Confringo.
Trzeba bombardy, żeby to tworzyć. No nic. Tutaj też. Nam zamknęli drogę.
Confringo.
No nic.
Imperio.
O, patrzcie, biją się teraz między sobą.
Bombarda. Incendio. Defender. Confringo.
To był fajny sposób był. Teraz było.
Bombarda.
Będziemy.
Defender. Confringo.
Był jeszcze jakiś przy mnie. Wciągły. O ty! Bańcu.
Incendio.
Masz, podpal się.
Incendio. Confringo.
Są mocne w miarę, jak wyjdą z podziemi, wykonałem ten swój
Never
atak.
knew spiders could make such a mess.
Bit dramatic, isn't it?
Incendio. Bombarda. Confringo.
To może przejść. Myślałem, że to trzeba
Akio.
spalić po prostu. Dobra.
Bombarda.
Coś mamy ciekawego.
This
Skrzyneczka.
catacomb has suffered decay, just as the student's summary described.
I doubt anyone's been here in quite some time.
Mamy dodatkowy przedmiot do odkrycia i tu niby też coś jest, ale nic. Dobra. A pytanie, czy my idziemy w dobrą stronę? Chyba tak. Dalej niczego nie ma.
Revelio.
Tak, tutaj już niczego nie ma. Także Tam jest tutaj jeszcze jakaś skrzyneczka, no idź. Tu coś jest jeszcze, tu jest skrzyneczka. Dobra. I teraz możemy się po prostu cofnąć. Sprawdzić, czy jest coś za kolejnymi... Czyśmy tych drzwi nie otwierali?
Bombarda!
A nie, bo nie mieliśmy zakręcić, dobra? Nam się ładowało, że tak powiem.
Another barricade. Considering how well you did on the
Akio.
last one, this should be a cinch.
How gracious of you.
I try. That works.
Wingardium
Keep
Leviosa!
going.
Tu
Lumos!
Wingardium Leviosa rzucałem?
Wingardium Leviosa!
Dobra. Tylko
Akio.
tutaj się otwierają drzwi. No dobra.
Wingardium Leviosa!
W każdym razie mamy kolejny zestaw czaszek. Dobra.
Accio!
This looks different than what we faced before. Now we're also dealing with rune symbols.
Dobra, ale tu są te symbole. Ale jakoś to trzeba otworzyć.
Accio!
O, mamy.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Proszę bardzo.
You are head and shoulders above these bones.
Podoba
Nicely
mi się te
done.
efekty. Wiem, że
I
bardzo
see why
ładnie.
Slytherin's student was so entranced with this place.
Coś tych pająków wydaje mi się, że dlatego korzystamy od razu z tego, nie będziemy się tym przejmować.
Confringo!
Co, wyskoczymy tu i o, odpalimy wszystkich.
Accio! Lumos! Defender! Accio! Depulso! Confringo! Incendio!
Odpalimy ich trochę.
Confringo! Bombarda! Defender!
No, tak trochę, bym powiedział. Użyjmy sobie tego. O, myślałem, że zginęliśmy już.
Bombarda! Confringo! Incendio!
Ja wiem, że za mną jest jeszcze jakiś. O właśnie. Tego jego sobie tam podpaliliśmy. No, to było ciężko. Ale tu niby coś jeszcze jest. No właśnie, to nie mówię.
Incendio!
For a moment there I thought that'd never end.
Revelio!
Tego takiego nie ma, ale to wszystko, co tu jest naokoło, sobie pozbieramy. Ale tam widzę, że zostawiliśmy jakąś skrzyneczkę. Porcik,
Akio.
ta skrzyneczka. O, udało się. Myślałem, że coś lepszego. No ale nic. Idziemy poszukać tego reliktu. Przy okazji to sobie też otworzymy.
Dead end. Lovely. All that for nothing.
Hold on, don't give up yet.
O.
Sebastian, the relic! Look!
Could it be?
The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea. But we're here for the relic.
I'm willing to ignore what the journal entry says. We're taking the relic.
Agreed. This is meant to be. For Anne's sake, I'm taking it. Let's get to Feldcroft. I must keep this relic secret, especially from my uncle. Is that ominous? Ominous. The sounds we kept hearing. It was you.
You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine, but Ominous knows I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I heard you encourage Sebastian to take the relic.
Sebastian's done his research. He knows what he's doing.
Sebastian makes things sound easy when they could be impossible or dangerous. We need to stop him.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
Sebastian's right. We need that relic.
I'm sorry. My mind is made up.
Are you willing to sacrifice your friendship over this?
I might be. How could I choose to stand by and watch him do this?
What if the choice wasn't yours? You wouldn't be to blame for what happens.
What in the world are you suggesting? Imperio?
That's what I'm saying. I would take all responsibility. This could save your friendship. I know how to cast it. Sebastian taught me. But I won't do it unless you agree.
This is insanity. I can't believe you would ask this of me.
Sebastian is never going to give up trying to cure Anne. If you try and stop him now, he'll never forgive you.
Fine. This is unfathomable. But I suppose if you want that responsibility, it may just save what is left of my friendship with Sebastian. Remember, this is what I was telling you about the dark arts. They come with a cost. You may well regret making this choice. Do what you have to do. Cast it. Before I change my mind.
Imperio! Step aside, Ominous. Stay in place until we're out of sight.
I will.
Sebastian, come on.
What did you do?
Imperio. It was the only way to get out of here without a fight.
Ominous, I'm sorry.
Sebastian, we have to go.
Did we do the wrong thing?
You need the relic.
I know. But not like this.
Ominous and I agreed. Surely there's a difference between casting Imperio on someone without their knowledge and casting it with permission.
I understand what you're saying. I do, but...
I've taken full responsibility. You have my word.
Wszystko swoje.
We've always looked out for each other, Ominous and I hope he knows that hasn't changed.
Konsekwencje, że tak powiem. Każdy wybór tak dalej, także myślę, że to by było lepsze, jeżeli wina spadnie na nas.
How long must Ominous stay in the tomb?
The curse is lifted already. He'll easily find his way out of the catacomb just as we did. He'll be all right, Sebastian.
Tak bieć ponad 300 metrów? No dobra. Ale wszystko ma na swoje konsekwencje, to co robimy. Sobie zbierzemy. Ale myślę, że lepiej, aby ich... Tam się co stało w tej wiosce? Aby ich przyjaźń przetrwała.
When we get to Feldcroft, I'd rather Anne not know what had to be done to get this relic. She thinks like Ominous. It'd only upset her.
Myślę, że coś się stało w tej wiosce, bo wszystko tu dymi.
Oh no, this isn't good.
What is it?
Smoke, over there, by the hamlet. Feldcroft's in trouble. They're under attack.
Let's hurry.
That was meant for me.
Tam jest jeszcze więcej.
Keep out of sword's reach.
Kurde, będziesz tam strzelał w nas. Sobie zmienimy. O! 3 zł też w porządku. Tak sobie stać. Jest tarczy trochę. Kiedy podpalimy raz, dwa. Myślę, że to będzie dobry wybór. Ten dostanie komiczny. Ten znowu ma tarczę. Weź, idź. Ten gościu mam nowy. Się podnieś.
Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
You did what you had to do.
If I have to keep proving that to my uncle, I will. He cannot banish me from my own home. From my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
Właśnie. Tak będzie raczej lepiej. A my może coś my tu ponaprawiajmy. Mamy wzięte już tutaj. Tutaj mamy tego wuja do porozmawiania. Co zrobimy?
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne.
This family does not resort to using dark magic even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
Rozumiem tego wuja, no ale trudno. Niech tak będzie. To jest chyba gdzieś skrzynka, tylko my możemy nie mieć do niej dostępu, bo nie mamy tej Lohomora tam większego. Chociaż mamy. O. Dziękować, dziękować. Mamy porozmawiać z Sebastianem, który znajduje się prawdopodobnie w Hogwarcie. Tam się przeteleportujemy raz, dwa. A nie, to jest 200 metrów dalej stąd. Czemu nam to tam pokazało, a nie tu? Dziwne. No ale nic. Idziemy dalej. Zobaczyć, co oni tu mają dla nas przyszykowane. I porozmawiamy z nim. On jest w krypcie, jeszcze siedzi. Ciekawe, czy ten omnibus, czy jak on tam ma, tam będzie. A?
Did you speak with my uncle?
I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Well, what did he say?
I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne.
I had to stop that goblin from killing my sister. He had no right to banish me from my own twin. If he thinks banishing me means I'm going to give up on Anne, he's sorely mistaken.
He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form, and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black.
Huh. That relic, dark magic or not, is the key to saving Anne. To reverse that curse. I will not lose Anne for good. I should send the crest to Anne. She'll know that we need to meet.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Nothing, just a thought. Now I'm more determined than ever to learn what power that relic has.
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this. I'll send you an owl when I have news.
I dobrze. Ta misja skończona i możemy sobie skoczyć. Że do Nati możemy sobie skoczyć. Jeszcze raz, dwa do Hogsmeade. Po prostu przeteleportować, tylko że tam było w pobliżu Hogsmeade, więc chyba to będzie tam, gdzie pokazuje. Miejmy nadzieję. Tędy. Musimy udać. Raz, dwa, chociaż mogliśmy wejść jeszcze główną drogę, no ale to tam nie szkodzi. Także ruszamy tędy. O! Ta sałata, czy co tam niesie? To jest Nati.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them.
Dobra.
Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Takie pobieganie teraz trochę. No nic. Może możemy udać się w sumie, bo tu mamy... Tam po lewej. Dobra, idziemy tutaj. Ja to widzę. Ja to wszystko widzę. Pub pod 3 miotłami jest aktualnie prowadzony przez Sironę Rejan i to podobno jest stary niczym samo Hogsmeade. Od dawna stanowi miejsce spotkań dla mieszkańców i uczniów Hogwartu chcących napić się piwa kremowego lub ognistej whisky. Ale my tam musimy... O właśnie, tu jest wejście na górę.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Jeszcze wyżej? Kurczę. A to taki bym powiedział duży jest.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and am trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
No nic.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank
Lecimy
you.
dalej.
I hope it's not too late.
Now, to
Porozmawiać
find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
z kolejnymi osobami. Teraz te misje poboczne takie, chyba będą takie pomóż zdobądź i
Otto
takie
Dibble
tam.
works at Gladrags. I should check that.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and be worthy of Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man. But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
No dobra. To ciekawe, że oni tam między sobą, między córką. To bardzo ciekawe, ale idźmy dalej.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Oh, tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
No dobrze. No, teraz idziemy do Naty. Ciekawe, czy ona z tym wszystkim zrobi. Czy ona faktycznie gdzieś z tym pójdzie? Czy będzie chciała sama to rozwiązać na własną rękę? No nic, zobaczymy. No, w sumie ciekawa zagadka jest w tej chwili. Jak ona to rozwiąże, no możemy tutaj tak... Hop, możemy. Dobra.
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
To tak bym powiedział trochę, no. Dziwnie to wygląda teraz. Coś się stało?
Natty must be around here somewhere.
Ma?
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Myślę, że zaraz zobaczymy, co jej się stało. Usuniemy sobie tą rzecz. I sobie weźmiemy... O, aha.
Revelio.
Te kwiaty są specjalnie porzucane, czy...
The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Akio!
No. Środkowa się otworzy.
A hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Revelio!
To sobie weźmiemy. Tam niczego takiego nie ma.
I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
Może tędy. Tego jakbyś chciał.
Revelio!
Takiego nie ma. Też nic takiego nie ma, dobra.
Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Just keep an eye out.
Byśmy chcieli... No nie możemy ich... O, dobra.
Hope I never have to.
Who's there?
Reductor! Take us!
Imperio!
Release me!
Expulso!
Bombarda! Confringo!
Czyścimy sobie wszystko.
Reductor!
What are you thoughts on?
Incendio!
Reductor!
Bombarda!
Fight back! Take us!
W taki sposób się pozbędziemy szybciej.
Confringo!
Tak niezbyt nam pomogła. O!
The book of poems that was taken from Agatha's filter.
Expulso!
Incendio!
You're going to regret.
Confringo! Bombarda! Defendo!
Chciałem się taki trochę.
Expulso!
To jest jakiś kat. Dobra.
Flash!
Idź.
Incendio! Defendo!
Dobra. Dziwne odgłosy, ale musimy sobie pousuwać to takie rzeczy, które są zielone, bo nie możemy podnosić nowych. Kapeluszów mamy dość takich i tak samo widzę, że tych też. Już tak pieniądze w tej grze niezbyt nam się przydadzą. Także możemy ich trochę sobie pousuwać, tych itemów. Dobra. O, fajnie, fajnie. Tutaj coś było takiego, tutaj sobie damy Revelio. To sobie weźmiemy. Tutaj coś jest jeszcze. Tutaj coś jest. Tak samo tu. Tutaj możemy do tych tutaj.
Revelio.
My mamy takiego ciekawego? A, wejście do góry po prostu. Powiem, że zaraz. Sprawdzimy sobie może wszystko. To, co mamy tutaj na dole, po prostu dostępne.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
To tu będzie. Skrzyneczka.
Revelio.
Prawda, skrzynka z tymi to wszystko. O, widział, słabo. Chyba tam do góry też możemy wejść normalnie schodami tymi środkowymi. Dobra, tu mamy jeszcze pieniążki. Tutaj można było to na cicho zrobić, jak widać. Sobie weźmiemy, wskakuj do góry. O!
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it.
Tutaj wszystko, ale tu było jeszcze... No właśnie. To też sobie weźmiemy, to też. I tu chyba więcej niczego nie ma. No nie, dobra. Także możemy... Co to robi? Dziwne dźwięki, ale możemy teraz iść. Myślę, że do góry.
Confringo, Defendo, Bombardo.
Better be a beast.
A? Jeszcze koleżku.
Looking for her?
Levioso.
Dangerous.
Confringo,
Expulsion.
Defendo, Bombardo. Incendio.
Expulsion. Might want to look up.
Sterował tutaj na nas.
Look what you've done. You pay for it.
Confringo.
Na strzał go ściągamy w ten sposób. To jest trochę mocniejszy przeciwnik.
Petrificus Totalis.
To było jaki Patryfikus? Dobra.
Natty must be here somewhere.
You found us. I knew you would free us. I have left my wand for you. Speak to Mr. Raven. He will tell you what you need to do.
Zaraz. My sobie wszystko
Revelio.
stąd weźmiemy. Tu więcej niczego nie ma.
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty was not able to summon
Revelio. Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there.
Szybko to znaleźliśmy, bym powiedział. Dobra. O, było.
Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Tak samo powinna działać, ale dobra.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Wydaje, że tu będą Murzyni. Myślałem, że będą tu przeciwnicy, ale nie wygląda. Chyba, że na wyjściu. To by się zgadzało. Tam przy wyjściu, jak wyjdziemy z tych kryjówki. Ale nie wygląda.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow.
Nie wygląda, żeby byli przeciwnicy. Chyba, że ktoś zaatakuje może Hogsmeade kolejny raz.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, they've also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply storming in and hauling them off based on a few accusations. I must insist that you leave them to us. We shall have no further discussion on this. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Nie takiego zakończenia się spodziewałem.
That relic is the key to saving Anne. I know it. Meet me outside of Feldcroft as soon as you can.
Ale dobrze. Zobaczmy sobie jeszcze tę misję. Tutaj mamy jeszcze Poppy. No ale nic. Myślę, że będziemy kończyć. A co tam było? Słuchajcie. Przygotuj się do sumów. Musieli cały przewodnik ukończyć. No ale nic. No. Także dzisiejszym odcinkiem był ostatni odcinek z Hogwarts Legacy. Także myślę, że możemy po prostu się pożegnać już.
The Ashwinders have ceased pestering me. I suspect that's your doing. Thank you from me and Rosie both. We're just leaving for our honeymoon after we tell Mr. Hill of our recent marriage. Wish me luck.
Także dzięki, że skończyliśmy tą serię razem. Dzięki, że byliście razem ze mną. Dzięki, że gramy razem. Do zobaczenia w kolejnych odcinkach kolejnej serii nowej na kanale. Jak nie zachęcam do obejrzenia poprzednich odcinków z tej serii, jeżeli ktoś czegoś nie widział. Także dzięki, że jesteście. Trzymajcie się. Hej, hej.